In this challenge review, we're going to create the shop system for the ability to buy an item. So the first thing we need to do is we need a buy method, a buy item method. So in here, what we're going to do is, in order to, when we call this buy method, I want to know what is the currently selected item. So I need to then update this variable. So here I'm going to say public int, we'll say current selected item. Now this current selected item is going to be assigned when you have an item selected. So if we select the flame sword, we're going to say current selected item is equal to 0. And so, and same for the boots. If you select the boots, then current selected item is going to be equal to 1. And for the key, your current selected item is going to be assigned to 2. Current selected item equals 2. Current selected item equals 2. Let's save this. This is going to allow us to keep track of what item is currently selected, and we're going to update it accordingly. Once we have that, we can then create our buy method. So here we're going to say public void buy item. And we don't need to know which item you're buying because we have it referenced here based on which item is currently selected. So here we have public void buy item. And what needs to happen here? We need to check if the player gem count is greater than or equal to the cost. So in order to do that, we need to know the cost of each item in the shop. So here, let's go ahead and create references to those costs. So we know that the flame sword is 200, the boots of flight is 400, and the key to the castle is 100. So to do this, what we can do here is we can say we have a public int current selected item, and then here we can have another int for current item cost. And we'll reassign that value as we select it as well. So here, if current selected item is 0, that's our flame sword, we're going to say current item cost is then 200. Once you've done that, we'll go down to the next one. If you select the boots, the current item cost is going to be 400. And then for the key, it's 100. Current item cost equals 100. Okay, so we have the current item that they're going to be buying, and we have the current item cost. From there, what we can do now is we created our buy method. We can now check if the player gems is greater than or equal to the item cost. So to do this, we need a reference to our player. So here we have our player. That's going to equal the player component that we selected. So right now, we don't have access to the collision anymore because it's outside that function. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a public reference to it, or a global reference to it. So private player, and we'll say player. And then what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and say, we'll remove line 16 here and just reassign it. So now player equals other.getComponent player, and it's assigned here globally so we can use it everywhere. So here is our private underscore player. And here we're going to change everything to underscore player. Let's save our script. Head back down here. And now what we can do is we can say, we can now check our logic. So here we're going to have an if statement. If the player's gems, so here we're going to have underscore player dot diamonds is greater than or equal to the item cost, so current item cost, then that means that we have enough money to purchase. So here we can say award item, else we'll say debug.log. You do not have enough gems. We'll say you do not have enough gems, closing shop. And then we'll go ahead and close the shop. So here we'll say shop panel dot set active, and we're going to set that to false. Now, if they do have it, we have to award the item, and then we need to actually subtract their diamonds. So here we're going to award the item, which we'll get into in the next video, and then we're going to say player dot diamonds is going to minus equal the current item cost. That way they're not duping the system, keeping and getting free items. Let's go ahead and save this, and let's hook it up to our UI. So let's go ahead now and hook this up. So on our buy button here, let's select it. We have our buy item button. We're going to add an on-click event. The function or the object that has our on-click event is our shopkeeper game object. From there, we're going to select the script shop and call the function buy item. Let's go ahead and save this. And let's get some visual cues of that we actually purchased an item here. So right now we have 0 gems, which means that when we purchase an item, what should happen here is it should just close the shop and print out our message. So let's go ahead and save this. And let's go ahead and try this out. So we're going to purchase the keys to the castle. Now right now it hasn't updated because I haven't triggered it. So let me go ahead and close it out. Let's trigger it. We have 0 items. We'll select Boots of Flight. Let's buy item. And you'll see here that says you don't have enough gems closing shop. Now that's exactly what we want. Now let's go ahead and try that again with having actual gems. And let's go ahead and actually create a log here as well. So here, debug.log, we'll go ahead and say purchased. We'll say purchased and we'll append the item they purchased, which is going to be current selected item. So we'll say purchase that, and then we'll say debug.log, let's say remaining gems. Remaining gems, and we'll say underscore player dot diamonds. So let's go ahead and try this again. Let Unity compile. Okay, I'm going to select my player. We're going to give us 500 gems. So here we go, 500. Let's walk up to the shop. And it looks like there's an object reference not set to an instance of an object. And that could be because I never stopped playing Unity. So let's go ahead and rerun that again. We'll disable the shop panel. Run the game. Let's select our player. We're going to give ourselves 500 diamonds. Let's enable the shop. We have 500. I'm going to select the Boots of Flight, buy item, and it says remaining gems 100. You can see here it updated on the player, as well as printed out that you purchased item 1, which is exactly Boots of Flight. So our shop system is completely functional and working, which is great. In the next video, we're going to get set up to track the sale of the key to the castle, which is what's important in this game. And lastly, let's make it so that when we purchase an item, it closes the shop as well. So here we're going to say shop panel dot set active, set it to false. Save that, and we're good to go.